In a crucial weeks for Somalia's security plan, discussions in Washington and New York have underscored the urgent need for preparation for the upcoming African Union Summit mission in Somalia, ASUM. As escalating tensions between Somalia and Ethiopia over a maritime agreement Ethiopia signed with Somaliland raised concerns among international stakeholders, Somalia is set to determine the composition of its upcoming ASUM following the expiration of the current African Union mission. Hossein Moulay, Somalia's national security advisor, stated that Somalia is firm in its position on Ethiopia's forces' participation in the new mission. Somalia could not consider Ethiopian troops to be part of the new mission unless it withdraws from the illegal memorandum of understanding signed with Somalia's breakaway region of Somaliland earlier this year. Malum said Thursday in an interview with Voice of Africa Somali, the controversial Memorandum of Understanding, also known as MOU, has escalated tensions between the two neighboring nations, granting Ethiopia access to a 20-kilometer, 2.4-mile stretch of Red Sea. Somalia views the MOU signed in January as a violation of its sovereignty and territorial integrity, leading to a diplomatic rift that has included the expulsion of the Ethiopian ambassador from Mogadishu and threats to remove thousands of Ethiopian troops stationed in parts of south and central regions of the country. Despite 2 rounds of mediated talks by Turkey yielding no results, Somali State Minister of Foreign Affairs Ali Omar Balad insists that effective dialogue hinges on addressing issues of Somali's sovereignty, infringement, and restoring trust. First, we need to solve the issue on our sovereignty infringement, and second, to restore the trust and the diplomatic relations between us. And then there comes the negotiations on the Ethiopia desire to access our sea and ports, said Balad in an interview with Voice of Africa. In New York, the United Nations Security Council addressed the security situation in Somalia on Thursday, stressing that the urgency of finalizing plans for the new African Union stabilization mission. During the discussion, concerns were raised regarding escalating tensions between Somalia and Ethiopia, with James Swan, acting special representative of the Secretary General, urging both nations to seek a diplomatic solution within the framework of international law. Ambassador Robert Wood, the U.S. Alternative Representative for Special Political Affairs, echoed these sentiments, highlighting the detriment impact of rising tensions on the regional security. Colleagues, we are deeply concerned about rising tensions between Ethiopia and Somalia and the negative impact it is going to have on shared security interests, Wood said. In discussions held in Washington this week, Somali officials, along with representatives from the US, Qatar, Turkey, and the United Arab Emirates and the UK, emphasized the urgency of finalizing funding operations for the new peacekeeping mission. Somali's Malam reiterated that the commitment of international partners to support Somalia's security, stability, and sovereignty. The partners reaffirmed their unwavering support for the federal government of Somalia in its efforts to attain stability and security across the nation. So, truth be told, we have enough problems in Africa. We don't want more and more African countries at loggerhead or locking horns with one another. So, it is better for Somalia and Ethiopia to put their differences or quench these tensions before it goes out of hand, and becomes a regional issue. Yes. Ethiopia is already having internal issues. Somalia is having internal issues. We have a whole lot going on all over Africa. And these so-called international partners that want to fund this so-called new United Nations stabilization, whatever, in Somalia, they are not giving their money for nothing. So it is high time Somalia should wake up from their slumber and understand that these people, the so-called money they are bringing in, is for interest. Because where these people don't have interest, they don't put their money. This life is about interest. Politics is about interest. But sometimes it looks as if some African leaders pretend as if they don't know that politics is about interest. Yes, any help that Somalia is getting outside the shores of Africa is not truly help. It's about interest. And these people, they are going to benefit far more than what they are putting in. So I suggest that Somalia puts its house in order, and if it is possible, let them allow Somaliland to be. It is not, you can't force any tribe or anybody to continue to be part of you when they are dissatisfied.